Hey again guys, my eye has healed, it's starting to heal really nicely now, and finally I can actually make a video. Sorry it's been a bit of a while, a week, YouTube tells me, been about a week hasn't it since I made a video. So I thought I'd make you a video today talking about finally what is Zen. So it's Free Your Zen. This channel is Free Your Zen. It's here to help you free the clarity, the awareness, the space within you that just gets obscured by the mud and the oil of the mind and its concepts and labels and superimpositions upon reality. So what does it actually mean? What does Zen mean? What does it mean to free your Zen? I'm going to be talking about that after the logo sting, so stay tuned. So first of all, Zen Buddhism is not a religion. Zen Buddhism is not even a philosophy. It's not really a branch of spirituality, because the guy who it all originates from, Siddhartha Gautama, otherwise known as the Buddha, was concerned with one thing: the end of suffering, or ending human suffering. Because to him, life inherently is suffering, but there is a way to transcend it, and that's all he was concerned about. So questions of God, metaphysical claims, and deep philosophy about life and death and all these other things, generally kind of a take it or leave it situation. When it comes to actual reincarnation, many Buddhists believe it. However, many Zen Buddhists don't believe it. Many Zen Buddhists don't even comment on it, because it's not really what Zen Buddhism concerns itself with. Rather than philosophical, conceptual understandings about what Zen Buddhism actually is, Zen Buddhists are more concerned with direct experience, because the actual essence, the experience of Zen, is concerned with just this moment as it is, without any superimposition that the mind places upon it. Perfect example right now. As you watch this video, you see the shape of my face. You see a beard, you see hair, you see a background over there. You see all sorts, okay? Your mind takes the screen and bundles it and sort of like collapses it into different fragments, whereas you're actually just looking at one sheet of colour that's constantly changing. Do you notice? And with Zen, the case may be that we just sit and we just watch, we just pay attention to the contents of the present moment, and we awaken into what actually truly exists in the moment. It's not as if thoughts don't exist though, because some people tend to get this wrong. We seem to think that everything exists and thought is just illusion. Not necessarily true, because thought is just a part of the experience that we're having right now. The only thing is though, is thought is generally seen to be an intrinsic part of the problem that we face with regards to the suffering in our lives. You see, thought is the origin of problems and a majority of the suffering that we face. And to actually transcend thought is not to stop thinking. To transcend thought is to see thought for what it is, just modulations of consciousness in the mind, without thought actually changing who we are as people, as aware entities. Which is not actually true, considering there is no actual separate entities to what we can experience, but that's for another video anyway. Zen translates to Shan in Chinese, which means to sit, literally, quite literally the translation is to sit. So the practice of Zen Buddhism is to sit for pretty long periods of time in some cases. The reason why I say that Zen cannot be communicated is because what you actually directly experience can never really be conceptually explained in words and labels and concepts. These are just signposts to direct experience. For example, if you're trying to explain the colour orange to a blind person, you then realise how useless concepts and words are when trying to define and explain a direct experience that can only be had by us directly. And because the core fundamentals of Zen involve a present moment attention and awareness, they don't seem to lend themselves to flashy bells and whistles, idols and gods and deities and all these things. Zen Buddhism doesn't concern itself with any of that. Zen Buddhism concerns itself with the sometimes glaring ordinariness of this moment. It's why Zen has influenced the arts in Japan with a kind of minimalist style. Minimalism also in Japan, the practice of reducing your life down to the bare essentials and paying real close attention to what matters. That's heavily influenced by Zen itself also. Now, I think that Zen can have a very useful function in today's society, because if you've noticed, anxiety, depression, suicide, and all these other mental health conditions are on the rise, and so oftentimes people seem to think, or psychologists have theorized, that this is because we're talking about it more often and more surveys are being carried out, which to a degree may be the case, but many other popular psychologists in their fields have said that the growing complexity of today's modern society is an inherent, widespread part of the issue that we're facing. The complexity of life as it is, which seems to be spiraling out of control with technology, smartphones, social media, the internet, whole shebang, seems to be pretty complex. And to me, I see Zen Buddhism as a return to simplicity itself. Yes, there are things in life that are complex, that require complex mechanisms to understand and operate fully. But simplicity in itself in this present moment is here waiting for us to pay attention to it. And so with that attention to the contents of the present moment, what is, there lies peace, there lies joy, or there lies just this, as it is. There's just this and nothing else whatsoever. And what truly is in this moment is a kind of perfection, really. And people often don't realize what I mean by that. How can this be perfect? There's so much shit going off in the world. Okay. In this present moment, when the mind settles down, when the mind hasn't got a chance to compare this to that and label this and label that and separate this and that, what exists? Just this, just one field of experiencing, just colour, just seeing itself, just hearing itself, just thinking itself, just knowing. And with this dissolves the impression that there is a subject over here and an object out there. With Zen Buddhism, after a while, when you truly awaken, you realize it's all just one field of experiencing, and you aren't separate from the old show. You're not this entity locked behind your eyes. Life is you and you are life. It's a constant flow back and forth. See, that's the most fascinating thing. That's the thing that appeals to me the most, is Zen Buddhism appears to focus more deeply on the depth of experience rather than breadth of experience. You see, in today's world, we are encouraged to seek a whole wealth of different various experiences, different romantic partners, different material possessions, different jobs, different labels, different categories, different all sorts of experiences, traveling to different countries, all these things. We're encouraged to expand our experience in breadth, but not depth. And Zen Buddhism, Zen likes to remind us that to experience a fuller life, completely, joyfully, flowing with it, we need not seek different experiences. We only seek to experience this deeply and to look a little further. That's all Zen asks you to do. Thank you very much for watching, guys. That was the video. A bit of a longer one today, a few more quick cuts than usual, because it's hard to communicate Zen, because it is really elusive conceptually, because it doesn't focus on concepts or anything like that. So it's hard to really communicate. So I hope I did that relatively well. I hope I gave you a better impression, a better idea on what it was. You can read about it in more depth online, although I don't really recommend that. I'd recommend you just sit, meditate and watch, you know. Thank you for watching, guys, and take care of yourselves. Have you had experience with Zen Buddhism or any other practices of meditation or anything like that? Did what I said make sense? Pop it in the comment section below. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, Free Your Zen. Thank you very much, guys. I'm at 775 subscribers as we speak right now, and I gained like 75 subscribers since my last video, which is like a week ago. I didn't really make one, not a proper one anyway. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care. Peace. and presence to you. Free your Zen.